The NBA rumor mill never stops churning. No matter the player or the season, everyone seems to want something to talk about. Unfortunately for Curry, being that this upcoming year is the last on his current contract, it's his turn to be pushed through the airwaves. Admit it, most of us like to speculate on what could potentially happen more so than what we know will really happen. While we know better, there is still precedence for some of these speculations, as long as there remains a chance that one of the best players in the league signs with a new team. Especially when you have a player like Steph Curry, it's going to be the hot topic. A player move like Curry signing with any other team is tectonic. Steph Curry teaming up with LeBron is earth-shattering, as is Curry signing potentially with the Milwaukee Bucks. These are team-ups that would be so devastating that everybody not named a Warriors fan is salivating at the idea. When you consider that the Nets with their big three continue to sign the most talented veterans this side of the US military, a Clippers team that just filled a huge gap by signing one of the highest IQ point guards who can turn it up a few notches during the playoffs, fresh off a championship, and the Lakers with LeBron, AD, Montrez, and Schroeder, one objective seems clear. Every team is going all out to try to win the chip, and when there's even a remote chance of acquiring a player like Steph Curry, you best believe teams are willing to move mountains. But I have news for you. Steph Curry is not leaving the Golden State Warriors. Here's why. Hey, what's happening everyone? This is Swish, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why Steph Curry will be a Warrior till the day he retires. If you've been watching the videos and like the content, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my content. Thank you guys for watching. Steph Curry is inching ever closer to that point in his career where his window of opportunity begins to shrink, and as with many players past, will have to weigh his options to finish out the last few years of his basketball career. He can either stay to try to win another ring with his Splash brother without much certainty, or he could go to a team with a more talented roster overall to solidify his legacy in the sport without a doubt. Aside from the fact that Steph Curry himself has said he doesn't want to leave the Warriors and wants to retire in the Bay Area, the likelihood of Steph leaving the Warriors seems to be the farthest thing from the superstar's mind. Every sign seems to point to him re-signing with the Warriors. Take for instance the Giannis fever that took over in 2019. After the 2019 All-Star game, after seeing Steph and Giannis play together, the entire league was itching to see the two suit up together in the regular season. Although many Bucks fans seem to be a bit delusional as to how this would actually work. Giannis was up for a contract extension, and if he didn't accept, he'd be an unrestricted free agent in a couple years, and being in his prime would be the perfect addition to ensure the Warriors have another run at multiple championships. I must admit that I was extremely in favor of this proposition as well, as the pairing would have given nightmares to the rest of the league. This would have ensured Steph's later years as a Warrior would be as productive as they could possibly be, while providing high-quality years well beyond Curry's tenure. While this didn't come to fruition, as Giannis obviously made the biggest mistake of his career by signing an extension with the Bucks, Curry being up for renewal is certainly in the minds of Bucks fans who might like to see the superstar paired with Giannis in Milwaukee. And the delusions continue. Not saying that this is impossible. Wait, actually, that's exactly what I'm saying. Bucks fans should stick with reality, as any delusions of grandeur regarding Steph wearing the color green is far too nauseating to even fathom. I've spoken to Curry personally, and he told me he'd rather shop for toilet rolls in the sanding section than give up $217 million to become a Buck. Pause. Okay, maybe I didn't speak with him, but I could definitely see him saying that. I mean, who wants to go to old, cold Wisconsin anyway? Well, what about Charlotte? Both Steph's parents, Dell and Sonia, still live in Steph's hometown, and the Hornets are currently rebuilding with an impressive young roster. With a young ball currently at the point, they seem poised and need just one more solid player to take them over that hump and into finals contention. Sounds eerily familiar. If Steph considers leaving, you'd have to think this would be one of the teams he strongly considers. I find it highly unlikely that Steph would leave the franchise high and dry, however, so the Warriors would have to brace to get a few of Charlotte's pieces here in a trade in order for it to work. With his family growing as well, he may consider this to be a more family-oriented move in order to still play the sport he loves while being close to his parents and giving his kids an opportunity to be around their grandparents. While an often overlooked part of an athlete's life, this can be a huge factor in a player deciding where to play his last few years. While I can see ways for this to happen, it simply does not make sense for Steph from a championship perspective. We saw what happened to LeBron and the Lakers, not to mention the Warriors would still have a more talented roster than the Hornets anyway for the next few years. This wouldn't enhance Steph's chances of winning a championship, and he will still have the opportunity to go to Charlotte 5 years from now. His parents do have the ability to come out to see the kids, and considering they have summers off, there are many other ways for the family thing to work. So I don't see him going to Charlotte. The next and possibly biggest earth-changing move would be Steph Curry to the Lakers. This move would be a shakeup unlike any you've ever seen. This would end careers and alter the history of the league without question. It would bring tears. The Nets would immediately have board meetings and Kawhi would board the next flight to the East. LeBron and Steph, having never played together on the same team, has just been one of those things accepted by the league. Considering the two have been rivals, going to the finals to face off against each other multiple times, it can cause quite the confusion for both to play together because you're thinking, well, they beat everyone else on their own, what's the point in them playing together? It would be no different than the pairing of James Harden and Kevin Durant, however, except they also have Kyrie in the mix, so now it's a giant cocktail of the players that have been winning the championships, just rearranged to form the new Ring Chaser edition. Though I can't find fault with the player wanting to surround themselves with a talented team, as there is plenty of gray area regarding just how much talent one superstar is allowed to have. A Lakers team comprising of Steph, LeBron, and Anthony Davis would not be out of the question as to whether or not the team is too stacked if you consider the amount of talent on the Nets. It certainly would help level the playing field. That said, however, this is not a pairing the NBA will likely ever see unless the Warriors find a way to draft Bronny James in 2023 or 24 if we still have the one and done. With LeBron wanting to play with his son, it's a no-brainer that any team that drafts the younger James would see his father joining the party. Add to all this that Steph Curry is the face of the Warriors franchise. The team drafted Steph at number 7 and built the rest of the team around him. This franchise, in its current form, was essentially created by Steph Curry. He brought the culture of winning back to the Warriors, and that is Steph's legacy. His name will only be associated with the Golden State Warriors and will be retired when he does. There will be monuments dedicated to Steph and what he brought to the Bay, and while other players don't have that type of loyalty, that is the type of legacy Steph wants to leave behind. So no, you won't see Steph Curry pair with LeBron on the Lakers, and you definitely won't see Curry leave the Warriors for any other team. With that assessment, I'm only left with one conclusion. You are on crack if you think Steph Curry is going to leave the Warriors. That's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button for more content. Till next time.
I shot so hard, sweetie, get served. Call me Lonzo Ball, bitches get swerved. Usually, I don't get down with these girls, but tonight it's on my mind. So I might eat these words. I just wanna